वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So I am very grateful to JagannathPriya. It is on his request for my purification. He has requested me to speak, although I am not so qualified. So I take blessings, take his blessings and all of your blessings to speak something about the glory to the Supreme Lord. Everybody can hear. Hare Krishna. So today I thought I will speak on the topic of the Lord being personal in nature. Like today only in the drama only we saw how the Lord is easily accessible to those who see Him as a person. Like the two robbers were searching for Krishna and they called out for Krishna out of love. They were not meditating on something or thinking of some impersonal person, a person who the Lord who has no form. So actually when we speak on this very beautiful topic of the Lord being person, I was just recollecting the beautiful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So I thought first we'll just recollect something about how Lord Chaitanya's reciprocation with his devotees, how the devotees reciprocated with Lord Chaitanya, especially in the first Adi Leela. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has written Chaitanya Charitamrita, he mentions very beautifully about the different branches, because the seed of this devotional the devotional service which they are being rendering, the seed is Madhavendra Puri, the trunk is Lord Chaitanya, and all the branches are his devotees. So now we see like Srila Prabhupada is also one of the branches, and then we are also like part of that branch. In the service, in terms of like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that please preach Amara Agyai Guru Hoy Tara Yadesh. He has asked every one of us to become gurus and preach the message of Krishna. So here in the Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions one of the very special devotees which I wanted to just mention today, because the topic being Lord being very personal in nature. How do the devotees reciprocate with the Lord? Because when we know that the Lord is a person, how do the devotees reciprocate with that person? Because he is using the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when their love overpowers, because they don't see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they see him as an ordinary person. So here we see very beautifully Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions the seventh branch is none other than Dhanishta Gopi, which is who serves Radha and Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, who came as Raghav Pandit. So Raghav Pandit, actually Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions in his purport very in a detailed way where Raghav Pandit stayed actually at the banks of Mother Ganga near Calcutta, just close to Sialda, the place called Panihati. So we all know the place Panihati because we have the festival called Shiradahi Festival, celebrated by Lord Chaitanya. Raghunath Goswami was involved in making all the arrangements. So there also, just near next to the place, obviously Raghav Pandit was the one who had invited Nityanand Prabhu, and Nityanand Prabhu said, today I will not eat at your house, today we will have a Shiradahi Festival. So Raghav Pandit's house is there till now whenever we have Mayapur Yatra, all devotees also visit the place of Raghav Pandit. So he mentions very beautifully this point of Raghav Pandit's service to Lord Chaitanya and especially his devotion service to Krishna. He has very beautiful deities of Madan Mohan. Now whenever we go there we can see those deities. He used to serve his deities very in such a with such loving devotion. It is mentioned that he had many coconut trees in his garden, because when we go to sisters, we can see. But he used to, when he used to fall, because he wanted to offer the best offering, because the best sweet coconut to the Lord. So sometimes he used to walk miles, almost 3-4 kilometers long distance, just to bring the most best coconut to be offered to the Lord. And the proof was that the Lord, how he ate, the proof was when the Lord used to drink the coconut water. Sometimes the pulp also he used to eat the pulp also. And it is mentioned that sometimes the pulp also used to just be around the place of the Lord's place. So this was a loving offering from Raghav Pandit to the Lord. And now, especially Raghav Pandit's sister is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Taharya Bhagini Damayanti Prabhura Priya Dasi Prabhura Bhoga Samagri Kare Varamasi. So very nice mention is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita about the loving bhoga being prepared by Damayanti, the sister of Raghav Pandit. And what kind of bhoga she used to make? That bhoga which will last for 12 months, Baramasi. 12 months she used to, the bhoga she used to put in such a way that it will last for 12 months, so that Lord Chaitanya will eat that every day. So Raghunath was, so Raghav Pandit's sister Damayanti was a dear matron of the Lord. She always collected various ingredients which used to cook for Lord Chaitanya. Then he goes on further to say, Svetvaha Samadri Yaka Dhalite Bhariya Radhava Lavya Yaya Gupata Kariya. So he is mentioning that the foods Damayanti took for Lord Chaitanya when he was at Puri were carried by her brother Raghav Pandit without knowledge of others. So Damayanti, because normally her love for Lord Chaitanya was so much, it is mentioned that she used to cook, because our Acharyas are mentioning, I will just read the next verse. Varamasa Taha Prabhu Kariya Angikar Raghavara Bali Bali Prasiddhi Yar. He is mentioning that the Lord accepted food throughout the entire year, and those bags are still celebrated as Raghavara Jhali. Jhali means the bags. It's normally like when we I was just recollecting that today, because today morning all of you had in the breakfast this khakra, puris. So nobody wondered that how the puris came to Badrinath in the same, because normally we all know that we had a very long distance by train and then the bus, but still the khakras were, you could see that not even it was broken. Why? Because there was love involved in it, so that devotees will get without any, what you call disfigured or, because why? Because when I was talking to the Mataji, because I said, Mataji, it is not possible that, because we have so much of luggage, we cannot carry those, because she was suggesting I want to cook something khata for all the devotees to serve. So I said, Mataji, this is difficult. Because packing and all, she said, no, I will ensure that it will not break. So I was remembering, because when you want to give something to the devotees, and you have to also ensure that it is packed in such a way that nothing is, it is going in the right way, and when you see it on the plate, you are very happy to have it. So there is that love involved. So Damayanti also, she used to pack these beautiful offerings in such a way that Lord, in every day the Lord is to honor these offerings. It is mentioned that this bags are still celebrated as Raghavara Dhali. And he mentions very, very nice point. Sesabha Samagri Age Kariba Vistar Yahar Shravane Bhakkatera Vahe Ashudhara. He is saying, I shall describe the contents of bags of Raghav Pandit later in this book. That means Krishna Savaraj Goswami is mentioning that I shall later describe this details of Raghavara Dhali. What was there in the Dhali of Raghav Pandit cooked by Damayanti? And he also mentioned this very important point. Hearing this narration, the narration of what was there in the Dhali, devotees generally cry and tears glide down from their eyes. Why? Because when they hear the loving offerings, loving items cooked by Damayanti for the Lord. So when I was going to this purpose of the 10th chapter of Antilila, where Damayanti's items are mentioned, Krishna Savaraj Goswami is saying, Bhavagrahi Mahaprabhu Sneham Achalavya Sukata Pata Kasayite mana sukopaya. So now, Damayanti, she not only cooks probably, like, whenever we accept offerings, so sometimes the offerings are sweet, sometimes they are very different kinds of, like pakoras or sometimes some dried items. But Damayanti, because she also cooked what? She also cooked sukta for the Lord. Sukta means dried bitter, like we have, bitter leaves of karela, I don't know what you call it, karela in English. Bitter gourd. So sometimes the leaves are also used. Sukta leaves are used and they are powdered. What Damayanti used to do? She used to dry those leaves, powder it, and then make small balls. And then she also used to pack them in her thalis. So that whenever, sometimes, because what she wanted, because she had made various thalis, different thalis for eating for the Lord. And when Lord will eat so much, he will have indigestion. So his stomach will become upset. So he will also have this bitter gourd. So sukta. So it is said, Bhavagrahi Mahaprabhu Sneha Vataliya. The Lord is so because the Lord is not, because in one sense, because the Lord is not an ordinary person. He can digest everything. In Govardhan Lila, when the Vrajavas is offered him everything, so he accepted in the form of Badrinath, all the offerings. So for him it is, what to speak of, indigestion. There is no question of indigestion very long. But how come Damayanti, what she is saying? No, Lord Chaitanya, I am giving him so much, so I should what? I should actually also give him this sukta, so that he will have no problem of indigestion. So here lies the loving sentiment behind the devotee. When he is offering something to the Lord, he also sees, no, I should also offer something which is not creating something bad to his stomach. So here, actually, this point is mentioned by Krishna Swarup Goswami, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they treated Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as their, because she is thinking herself as the maid servant of Lord Chaitanya. In one sense, Narottam Das Thakur mentions in his beautiful bhajan, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daser Anuda Seva Abhilasha Kare Narottam Das. Those who are, our main aim in life, what is our main aim in life, is to become the servant of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daser Anuda. So this very beautiful pastime of Damayanti, because offering Sukta, because I was just meditating on this very simple offering of Sukta to the Lord, because the Lord in person, so he is accepted. There's another beautiful pastime we all know of Shabri. Because Shabri, because she knew that the Lord he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, he doesn't need to eat anything. But when the Lord comes to her, because she's eagerly waiting for the Lord, her Guru had said that Lord Ram will personally come. Till then you wait. They all depart to the spiritual world, and she's been told to wait. So Shabri, she's waiting every day for Lord Ram to come. She decorates her hermitage very beautifully. She decorates the asana, the place where Lord Ram she is going to personally place. And she also collects different fruits to offer to the Lord. So we all know that when Lord Ram personally came, she was crying tears, welcoming the Lord and offering what? Because Gita, that means it's just, what do you call it in English? The remnants, her own remnants she is offering to the Lord. Actually it is, because normally in Viti worship we have all been told that never, whenever, like Prabhupada, we all know the pastime of it. So Yamuna Mataji, she always, when she first went to the kitchen, when the marriage of her sister Janki was there, Prabhupada always used to say, whenever she used to touch her hair, or whenever she used to touch her hand somewhere, Prabhupada used to say, wash your hands. So there is so much regulations regarding Viti worship. So, but see here the loving offering. Bhavagrahi Mahaprabhu, same thing. Bhavagrahi. The Lord is Bhavagrahi in accepting the loving sentiments, the loving offerings of his devotees. So there are many other pastimes. We all know Raghunandan Thakur, the son of Mukunda in Mahaprabhu's Leela only. Mukunda is one of the eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. So Mukunda, he actually every day used to offer the Lord beautiful offerings in terms of prasad, bhoga cooked by his wife. And Raghunandan Thakur, actually his son, one day he had to go outside and he asked his son, kindly go and offer the Lord Krishna, this offering. So Raghunandan Thakur, being a very small child, innocent child, he went to the Lord with the plate and he sat in front of the Lord. My dear Lord, please accept this offering. So Raghunandan Thakur, being a small child, he is saying that the Lord is not eating. He started crying because the same. He's seeing that he's not seeing the Lord just as a small, just as a what do you call Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Rajendran. He's not seeing him as just a Pratima. So the Lord actually, because his own devotee is crying, he cannot bear it. So he starts speaking. Oh Raghunandan, actually I have already eaten. I eat through my eyes. Don't you know? He says, I don't know, because I don't know this philosophy. You speak big philosophy. I cannot understand this philosophy. Because if you are speaking, then you should eat it with your own hands, and I will be very satisfied when you eat. So he says, okay, I will eat only little, because otherwise your mother will chastise you. He says, no. Mother has said that you should eat everything. So Lord, okay, he says, okay. So then the Lord eats everything and the plate is empty. And Raghunandan Thakur has fallen and he comes to the mother. This is the plate. The mother says, what happened? It's fine. Krishna ate it. So the mother is wondering, differently Raghunandan Thakur being a small child, he doesn't know how to offer and all. And so she thought, when Mukunda, he comes and she tells him everything about Raghunandan Thakur's pastime, what has happened. So Mukunda is wondering, because Mukunda also knows that he might not be an ordinary person. So let us check again. So he says, okay, we gave him laddus. Okay, you please offer this to the Lord again. So the laddus are given to Raghunandan Thakur, and he goes to, and Mukunda in the meanwhile he's hiding and seeing Mukunda and his wife, both of them. And Raghunandan Thakur again goes and takes the laddu, and my dear Lord, please eat the laddus. And the Lord doesn't reciprocate. So Raghunandan Thakur starts crying again. How come again? You have just had a nice meal. You should have a sweet. Again, I will also like sweet. He also definitely likes it. Please eat. So Krishna doesn't come. So Mukunda is wondering, क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब इसने खाया. He starts crying, very, such a innocent, because his love is very, unconditional. So naturally the Lord immediately says, Raghunandan Thakur, don't worry, I will eat one laddu. And he picks up that laddu and starts eating. And immediately Mukunda comes and falls at the feet of the Lord and glorifies his own son, Raghunandan Thakur. So we all know this very beautiful pastime, that how when one sees the Lord as a person, the Lord also is associated with him. So there are many pastimes such as this, like where we have seen personally, Raghav Pandit's offerings, Damayanti's offerings, Shabri's offerings, Raghunandan Pati's offerings. So the Lord is eating, but not only that, the Lord also has feelings. Just as like when normally we see the Lord, we take him, we see him as someone who is eating something, normally जैसे जब मंदिर में जाते हैं तो हम भगवान को क्या थाली लेके जाते हैं, तुलसी लेके जाते हैं, उनको हाथ देते हैं, उनको खाने को कुछ देते हैं. But more than that is the Lord is also having some feelings. He also has emotions. And when we say him as a person, he is not just a person who sits there, stands there, he eats something and that's all. Khatam ho gaya, isn't it? No, actually the Lord also has feelings, emotions, and that he exhibits in through his very different pastimes. So one of the pastimes is, we all know, Krishna being the very good, the best friend of Arjuna, he becomes, because he also takes a vow that, he has taken already a vow that I will never lift a weapon. But Bhishma also has taken a vow that I will make sure that Krishna breaks his vow. And I want to see that, Lord breaking this promise. So, Bhishma being his devotee, Krishna wants to fulfill the promise of his devotee. And at the same time, if you see, Arjuna actually, he wanted to protect Arjuna also. Because we all know how when Bhishma in the battlefield of Kurukshetra was about to kill Arjuna, he is in fact hurting Krishna with his arrows. And he is about to kill Arjuna, then Krishna realizes that it is my time now to protect my devotee. So because he is so very, affectionate to his devotees, he cannot bear. So it is not just the Lord is like to eat and whatever, because he also has transcendental the feelings of the same feelings which we have for our friends, whatever, for wife, children, brother, same feelings he has. This pastime of Bhishma. Same different pastimes we all know in Krishna Leela, which Krishna personally exhibits, in Dwarka Leela, which Krishna personally exhibits. So I was just recollecting these pastimes, and when I was just recollecting with this theme, I also recollect this pastime of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingadev. Because Lord, when he sees the suffering, because when Hiranyakashipu was torturing Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord could not bear. Because if you, in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that all the demigods, they go to Brahma, and Brahma in turn then he takes them to Shiv Sagar and they pray that, my dear Lord, please help us. Hiranyakashipu is torturing all of us. And then the divine voice speaks to all of them. Don't worry, I will personally appear. Please be patient. My servant Prahlad, when he is tortured by Hiranyakashipu, I will personally appear and kill Hiranyakashipu. So here we see the personal feelings of the Lord for his devotee. He can never bear his devotee being tortured. So in this pastime, Prahlad Maharaj especially is mentioned, when the Lord personally came out of the pillar, two sentiments were expressed by the Lord. We all know this. I think I have spoken this in the Thana program also, but this is one of the very touching things which we can see how the Lord exhibits his emotions to his devotee, at the same time to his enemy. The example is given that of a cow. We all know a cow, when she gives birth to a calf, she wants to be affection. She naturally showers her affection, infinite affection to the calf. But when she sees someone is coming near to the calf, what she will do? She will naturally, with such anger, because she knows that somehow somebody is going to hurt my calf. So with such anger she is going and about to harm that personality. But at the same time, with one eye, it is mentioned, with one eye she is angry on that person who is going near the calf, but at the same time with the other eye she is very affectionately looking at the calf. So it is mentioned when Lord Narsingadev came out of the pillar, his emotions were, his eyes, it is mentioned, red hot eyes, his mane was, his tongue is like coming out and is ready to actually kill Hiranyakashipu. But it is mentioned that with one eye, because he had come only for one reason, to protect Prahlad. Because Hiranyakashipu, to kill Hiranyakashipu was not a big deal for the Lord. But to actually protect his dear devotee Prahlad. So because the first thing, whenever the Lord appears, actually, the Lord he does not want to see Hiranyakashipu. Why does he want to see Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyakashipu is not a big, he is not a great devotee of his. He only wants to see his devotee. Whenever the Lord appears, he only wants to see his devotee. Like if you want to see the Lord cannot be seen unless we have his devotee next to him. That is why we have the Guru Parampara, we have Panchatattva. That is how we can actually approach the Lord. So when Lord is stepping out of the pillar, his first glance of affection is on Prahlad Maharaj. With one eye, he is affectionately glancing, and with other eye of anger, he is wanting to kill Hiranyakashipu. So this is the affection, this is the feeling of the Lord. This is what we can see from this pastime. So this reciprocation which we see, the Lord is not some impersonal concept which people all speak about. He is a person. A Purusha, actually, he is a person. And he actually accepts. So there is a small story, I think I will just end with this small story and one small end purport of Prahlad Maharaj. There was this devotee, Karma Mishra Bhakta, that means a devotee who wanted to have some positions in his life. He approaches Guru, the bona fide Guru. He approaches, Guru Maharaj, समझते हैं, मेरे जीवन में बहुत समस्या है, so much problems in my life. कृपा करके कुछ करो, give me something, so that I can be relieved from all the miseries. कुछ तो लकड़ी दो, कुछ तो something ना दिया. जैसे हम लोग आ रहे थे अभी नीचे, तो ये लकड़ी रखने से कुछ तो लकड़ी का नाम भी है, कुछ तो थोड़ी देर नजर something, नजर पट्टा something like that. ये दो ताकि मेरा सारे दुख घर के चले जाए, and all that. So he approached the Guru. Also he was a bona fide Guru. So he gave him a murti of a Devata. And he said, you worship this Devata for 3 months with nice, what you call, ghee lamps. He says that I am already a poor man. Where will I get ghee lambs and ghee and all these things? Nowadays cow ghee is also expensive. So he says, don't worry, you do it, and all your desires will be fulfilled. So he goes and he worships that devta with so-called devotion, but there is no solution. He does not get any solution out of it. So again he comes to Guru Ji, I tried everything. ये देवता को पूजा करने की कोशिश की लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं. It's don't worry, okay. I will give you this murti of one Devi he gives. You worship this Devi and how you worship it? You worship with a camphor lamp, This is camphor again, so expensive. I am just how will I worship it again? He says, don't worry, you try. Then he goes and again tries and he sees 3 months have passed and kuch ho nahi raha. So then he realizes, okay, I should go back to my Guru again. He says, Guru, what is happening? 6 months have passed and all my miseries are still there. So please give some solution. I want a solution. He says, okay, you worship this beautiful murti of Krishna. He says, okay, you worship him. But you make sure that you worship him 6 times with a very special incense sticks 6 times a day with 5, almost 5 sticks every day. It is so expensive. No, you do it. You try this. So he is actually, offering every day 6 months is mentioned. Now 3 months, he says 6 months. Guru बोलते हैं कि 6 महीने के लिए offering करो. So 6 months he offer. 3 months for the Devi, 3 months for the Devi, and now 6 months. He says, oh, he's wondering. It's okay, no problem. I will try. So 3 months have passed. He's offering nice, incense stick to the Lord, and he's wondering, nothing is happening. My miseries are not going. He's wondering that this Lord is just standing there and just smelling my fragrance of my. जैसे हमने अगरबत्ती लगाया केवल वो सूंघ रहे हैं बस मेरी अगरबत्ती को सूंघ रहे को छोड़ नहीं रहा है. He becomes so angry. वो क्या करते हैं? वो कॉटन लेते हैं और भगवान के नाक में लगा देते हैं और बोलते हैं कि ये भगवान he is just smelling. He just turns around and he is about to go to his Guru. The Lord appears. My dear son, I am very pleased with you. And he is wondering. Bhagwan, he just immediately he offers obeisance to the Lord and he says, my dear Lord, I have offended you. How come you are pleased with me? He says, no, my dear son. No. Actually, everyone worships me just like everyone is worshipping me only as a stone form. So everyone is coming there and offering obeisances just to show external show of devotion service. But you have actually understood that I am not a stone form standing there. I am actually a person who is actually smelling this good fragrance sticks, incense sticks which you are offering. So that is why I am very pleased with you. Because you are not seeing me as just as a person standing there. That is why I am very pleased. So this is a very small story, although very profound. It is said, Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Rajendra. One who sees that, the Lord reciprocates with him in person. And to conclude with one of the very nice Prahlad Maharaj mentions in his prayers to Nrsimhadev about devotional service, how devotional service to the Supreme Lord exhibited is supreme. Actually. He mentions Manye Dhanabijana Rupa Tapa Sutojas Teja Prabhava Bala Purusha Buddhi Yoga Naradhanayahi Bhavanti Parasya Pumso Bhaktya Pudusha Bhagavan Gati Yutapaya. So now Prahlad Maharaj is mentioned. We all know Prahlad Maharaj mentions about Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Satyam, Atmanivedam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktisya Navalakshana Kriyate Bhagavati Atha Tanmanye Adhikam Uttanam. He says Tanmanye, according to me, the best way of worshipping the Supreme Lord is these 9 processes, Shravanam Kirtanam. The same thing he is also mentioning, and one more beautiful word he is mentioning. Manye, according to me, Manye Dhana. According to me, Dhana. He is saying, according to me, one may possess Dhana. Manye Dhana, Abhijana. One may be born in an aristocratic family, Abhijana. Manye Dhana Abhijana, Tapaha. Rupa. One may possess a very beautiful body. Manye Dhana Abhijana, Rupa, Tapaha. One may be very austere. Manye Dhana Abhijana, Rupa, Tapaha, Sutta. He is very knowledgeable in Vedas, Ojas, sensory prowess, both prowesses. Then, Teja, bodily effulgence, Prabhava, influence. He has got a lot of influence in his life. Bala, strength. And Purusha, he is very diligent in his activities. Buddhi Yoga, intelligence, and he is strong in his mystic powers. But what is he mentioning? All of these qualifications, one may have all of these qualifications, na aradhanaya. Now he is saying, according to me, na aradhanayi bhavanti parasya pumso. How the Lord is pleased? He is saying, according to me, all these qualifications, all of these are not qualifications to please the Lord. Then what is the qualification to please the Lord? Bhaktya tutusha bhagavan gaja yutapaya. Now Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning a very important point here. Please listen carefully. Bhaktya tutusha bhagavan gaja yutapaya. Who is Gaja? Gaja means elephant. So he says, all of these qualifications are actually executed by a man, by a human being. Manya dhana, you cannot find an animal possessing dhana, aristocratic family. We don't say that he is having an aristocratic animal. Manya dhana, abhijana, rupa. No, the animal doesn't have a very beautiful dhanya, rupa, tapa, where they do tapa, suta, where they have knowledge, where they have sensory powers. And then again, bala, teja, prabhava, buddhi, yoga, no, nothing. That is why I mentioned this point, very important. Bhaktya tutusha bhagavan, just like Gaja, what? Gajendra. Gajendra, who was he? An elephant. Just, he is mentioning a very nice point. He is an elephant. He actually obtained the Lord. He actually received the mercy of the Lord. How? Bhaktya tutusha. Just by rendering devotional service of offering a small flower to the Lord, accepting him as a person. Bhaktya tutusha bhagavan gaja yutapaya. This is very important. What is he mentioning? Gaja yutapaya. Let's see, a Gaja. A Gajendra is obtained, he has actually obtained the mercy of the Lord, then why cannot you? He is mentioning. So it is very important for all of us to understand this very important point here, that according to, he says, one may possess all these qualifications, but I think that even by all those qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Body. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. So all we learn from this very beautiful prayers and beautiful thought of our Mahajan actually. Mahajana Gata Tapanta. We should follow in the footsteps of the Mahajan. He is saying this. According to me, so all of these are not qualifications. But simply when one offers with love to the Supreme Lord, whatever, like we have heard, Damayanti, Sabri, we have heard about the offerings of Raghunandan Thakur and many others. And like same, Gajendra, and the end we don't. Even an animal actually, if he offers with love, the Lord accepts. So, we have a very great hope for all of us. So, let us actually render, offer this prayer obviously to, at this place actually at Badrinath. That we may also actually offer the same prayer as that of Gajendra, because he being an elephant, obviously in his previous life, he was in the Vrinda. But at the same time, the Lord is not seeing that difference. That is what Prahlad Maharaj wants us to understand. So let us also offer with that same sentiment when we offer the prayer to Lord Badrinath and Radha Ramanji, Sri Vittal Rakumai, Jagannath Baldev Subramanian. We are ready to accept that offering of love, and they will accept our service eternally. That is our eternal position, being their servants, to offer our service. And as Prabhuji mentioned yesterday very beautifully, that devotional service is not meant for enjoyment, but it is meant for the concept is to actually engage in pleasing the Lord, not for our enjoyment. Shri Shri Radharaman Dev ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subramai ki jai, Shri Vittal Rakumai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sai Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. So we will have same kirtan for that. You can have